Hi Hermes lovers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tania and I also love Hermes. And in this video we will be addressing a highly sensitive topic. We are going to be talking about money and how much do Hermes bags actually cost. So if you were wondering but too afraid to ask how much actually is a Birkin bag, stay tuned, you will find out. And moreover, if you are starting your Hermes journey and not sure of the bag prices and what you can afford or can't afford and which bag is within your budget, but you don't want to ask your sales associate because you don't want to make a fool of yourself, then this video is for you. We will start with non-quota bag prices. I will be talking about European prices and American prices. So we will start with a non-quota bag right here. This is a Picotin 18. I absolutely love this bag and I was not thinking that I would get so much wear out of it, but I do wear it quite a lot. So in the US it is right above $3,000. Like I want to say maybe 3,300, something like that. I think in Europe it's about 2,500 euros. This is a size 18 Clemence leather. Then there are a few other non-quota bags that actually start at about, I want to say 2,000 euros, which is like around, maybe in the US it's about $2,500. I want to say Mini EVELYNE is one of the less expensive bags, and the EVELYNE collection typically goes between 2,000 and I want to say like 4,500 European euros. And in the US the EVELYNE bag collection ranges between $2,500 and $5,000. They are on the less expensive side of non-quota bag prices. Now there are a few non-quota bags that are the Hermes CONSTANCE, Hermes Roulis, and Hermes 2424 bag. They are on the more expensive side. They will cost you very close to what a Kelly or a Birkin would cost you, which is between 7,000 to 9,000 euros in Europe, between 9 and 11,000 American dollars. Because as always, bags are less expensive in Europe and they are more expensive in the US. And this is what goes for non-quota bags. Of course, there are many bags in the middle, like Bolide bag, Garden Party, and they are sort of in the middle. I want to say they're between 3,000 and 6,000 euros, and in the US they are around like $4,000 to $7,000. These are price ranges for Hermes non-quota bags, with again the less expensive options being the EVELYNE mini bag and the Picotin 18. I think that they are on a less expensive side. Now let's move on to quota bags. Hermes considers the famous Hermes Birkin and an Hermes Kelly quota bags. Let's start with Kellys. So let's start with some general pricing policies when it comes to Hermes. The smaller the bag is, the less expensive it's going to be. The bigger the bag is, the more expensive it's going to be. I know that it seems counterintuitive because if you are looking at resale websites, the smaller the bags are, the more expensive they cost, but the bigger the bags are, the less expensive they cost. But when you are actually buying at an Hermes boutique, the smaller the bag is, the less expensive the price is, and the bigger the bag is, the prices go up with the size. So these are the general Hermes rules. Also, one of the myths that I hear on my Instagram is that Hermes charges different prices for different colors, and that is totally untrue. All colors within the same leathers and all hardwares cost the same, unless of course you go with like diamond hardware, then it's going to be more. But the colors of Hermes, they don't change the price. The reason why certain colors like pink are more on resale websites is because these colors are more desirable and they're also more rare. Now, like I mentioned, that Hermes will increase the price based on the size of the bag. They will also vary the price depending on leather. So obviously you have some basic, less expensive leathers, and then you have more expensive leathers, and of course you have the exotic leathers such as ostrich, crocodile, alligator, and lizard, and they are going to be more expensive than your traditional typical non-exotic leathers. Let me rank different leathers so you have an idea of which leather to ask for. The absolute least expensive leather that Hermes has is the Togo leather. Two of these Birkins are Togo leather, and it is definitely in my experience, it is the least expensive Hermes leather. Now, Clement's leather, which is this picotin is in Clement's leather, it is very similar to Togo, and it's also not a very expensive leather. Now, as we go up, Epsom leather, this is Birkin Cellier in Epsom leather. Some of my Kellys are also in Epsom leather. It is very durable, very stiff leather. It is more expensive than the Togo leather. Then we have CHEVRE leather, which is this mini Kelly. It is more expensive than Epsom leather by a little bit, and in my opinion, it is just stunning and beautiful leather. I absolutely love it, and it is definitely worth the price for me. And then we have box leather, which is even more expensive. It is one of the heritage leathers of Hermes, and it is yet even more expensive. And then we have other heritage leathers that are very rare, so we're not going to talk about them. And then sort of in the hierarchy of prices and leathers, you have ostrich, then you have lizard, then you have alligator, and then you have crocodile. So obviously the higher up the ladder of the leathers you go, the more expensive the bags will be. Now, all of this stock, and I have not named prices. So let me give you an idea. Let's say that this is a mini Kelly and it goes for the highest resale value. So many people actually wonder how much is it at the store. So I'm going to tell you really fast, fire up some numbers. So the least expensive mini Kelly, it comes in Cellier leather, which is the blue one right there. It is close to 7,000 euros in Europe, and it is around, I believe, $9,000 in the US. Then we move up to CHEVRE leather. It is 7,250 euros in Europe. I just got this one, so I know the price off the top of my head. And in the US, it is about 9,500. And then we go to box leather. Box leather, it's a little over 9,000 euros in Europe. It is over 11,000 US dollars. The box leather for the mini Kelly. Now, when you go up in size, obviously the price increases. It usually increases for about 1,000. So like a Kelly 25 will be about 8,000 euros in Europe and about 11,000 in the US. And obviously the more the size increases, the higher the price will be. Now let's move on to the Birkin. Everybody wants to know how much these bags actually cost at the store. So if you go and you want to buy a Birkin, the least expensive Birkin that will probably be available to you is a Birkin 25, which is a size smaller than this, in Togo leather. In Europe, it's just under 9,000 euros, and in the US, it is around $11,000. Then the next size up is going to be Birkin 30 in Togo leather, and it is going to be around just under 10,000 euros in Europe and around $12,000 in the US. And then this style in Epsom leather, if you remember, Epsom is considered more expensive than Togo. It will be about 1,000 euros more expensive in Europe, and also like a little over 1,000 more expensive in the US. So this bag would probably be around like 13,000 in the US. So I'm actually curious to hear your comments. Did you think that the Birkin bag would cost more? Did you think it would cost less? I'm very curious to hear your opinions, because a lot of people are surprised because they're like, oh my god, I thought that this bag was like $30,000, because they go and they Google like Birkin bag and then they see all of these resellers websites pop up, and usually the Birkin bag would be going for around 30K on those websites. And then some are like, oh my god, they're so expensive, I thought they were like $3,000. So I'm actually like very curious to hear your thoughts, and I get asked this like all the time, like what are the starter prices, how does the price differ? So I hope that this video was able to help and answer some of these questions. And if you have more questions, feel free to drop them, and I will make more videos to help you on your Hermes journey. And don't forget to subscribe, as always, with love.